Cool.
Cool.
So, yeah. I mean, you've got a whole bunch of different sites, right? So,
I've got a few different sites. I guess I could walk through the sort of history of how they've come to be a little bit.
that'd be cool. I don't know how technical you want to get, but I'm definitely interested in like digging into the stacks and even seeing some code if that's something you're down for. Yeah.
Sorry. That audio just glitched out for a second. So I can certainly get a little technical.
Sweet.
Are there, just to start off, are there other particular questions you're most interested in covering?
So technical stuff, the kind of evolution of it, like how you tried out different things, if there were ever like dead ends in ways you tried to use the site that didn't work out, I'd be interested in that. And then kind of generally like, the experimental nature of it and how you think about experimenting.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so I guess I'll just start with my main personal site, Schlagel.com. I forget if it was actually the first one I ever made. It was one of the first couple, and it's gone through a couple like minor design tweaks and iterations. But I think I first got into just like the idea of making sites and like exploring how web development, just basic web design in general, works like a year or two out of college maybe.
Okay.
And I don't know if there was like one specific catalyst, but just getting generally interested in learning more about technology and trying to like start doing some writing and blogging. So I think probably the very first thing I did was try like a couple of super basic, just like single HTML page. One of those actually, I have this like old version of this site called Diacritical Mass. And this, I saved this as like kind of an old copy because I made a newer version.
Nice.
To something else. But I kept this around as just like, one of the first single page sites, which is, I think, it's just really all HTML and like a little bit of CSS. Yeah, here, copyright 2012 to 2014. And there's this children's book that I did with Jin Jin, my girlfriend.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so there's like, I think there's like one tiny JavaScript snippet in here
for the
that does this like photo carousel thing. Yeah. But other than that, it's just like a single page HTML.
And then it just links out to the other pages, or?
And what?
For the like about projects and all those, are those just like external links or separate pages?
Oh no, I think
just like to this page.
Anchor tags. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that's all it is. Yeah.
That's pretty.
There's not a lot on it. It's like thanks. There was like this one weird font. It's like this free Google font that I liked.
Nice.
It's like the foundation.
And so was it, what prompted the shift, or what was the next version of this? Straight to BrennanSchlegel.com?
I think this might have been something as like a precursor kind of playing around. I forget if that was before or after I found WordPress and like decided to make BrennanSchlegel.com, which I'm pretty sure I think BrennanSchlegel.com has always been on WordPress with a few different random themes here and there.
Gotcha.
Over the years. But yeah, it was kind of around a similar time that I was like starting, like at work, also starting to figure out like websites and making a website for the stuff we were working on there, which ended up also being WordPress. So that's been a thing that's kind of just like a tool that I found useful.
Do you know if you did
context?
Do you know if you did it first on your personal site or first at work? Because for me, it's happened like twice or thrice now where I'll try out like a new tech stack on my own blog, and then when I have to make a website at work, it would be the next tech stack I use. So it's just like a staging area for whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely done that a little bit, like stuff. I don't remember if I used WordPress first for my personal site or at work. It was probably around a similar time. But yeah, so my personal site is mostly, it's a blog and like a bunch of other either single pages or external links. And I've been blogging very inconsistently since, I don't know when, 2012 or something. I should look that up.
Yeah, and always on the same. When you like started doing it, was blogging like a thing you wanted to definitely do?
I don't know. I was just kind of like looking for an outlet of like where to post random things I was writing.
Yeah.
And then the thing we talked about on our last conversation, the Orbital Bootcamp, in maybe 2014, that was also very big on kind of encouraging working in public and kind of sharing like your ideas as you go. And so one of the requirements of that bootcamp course was actually like everyone had to make a Tumblr account and blog on it like weekly. So at one point I had a Tumblr blog also. I don't know if that still exists anywhere, but I think I eventually like moved those blog posts over either onto this site or the Self Starter's Guide, where I had other things about like learning projects. I blog very occasionally, but I guess I've accumulated 57 posts.
That's pretty substantial,
since 2012. Yeah. So that's only like a few per year.
That's not.
But it adds up.
Definitely.
So there was one period a couple years ago, or maybe a year or two back or something, where I did like a daily post for 15 days in a row based on some challenge I found. That was kind of fun.
Nice.
Then the other kind of impetus for the site was as just like a general kind of portfolio, like about me sort of thing.
And of all the different
so
websites.
I had a few things. Yeah, right. It ended up being kind of a place to link out to other projects I was working on. But there's some of the general things like the about page. There's the /mentoring and /now pages, which were from Diana Kimball and what was the other one? Derek Sivers, I think, respectively.
I've seen the /mentoring,
right.
but I'm not sure about the what's the /now? Or is that just like what you're doing?
That is, where's that even? Does that even exist? It's like, the idea is just kind of sharing what you're working on now, which, of course, I haven't updated in like a year or something, so it doesn't. But that's the principle that goes behind that. And then a few other random things, like I think I might have mentioned this last time we were chatting, the Tumblr theme that shows your library.
Yeah.
So that's this. It's just like this cool Tumblr theme I found. It has like a nice bookshelf array. So this was kind of a precursor to anti-libraries.
It just keeps going. Nice.
The Otledge shelf theme. So just a bunch of like favorite books on there. And then this is another one. It's like a sub-page, just on the same domain, but as just through like a HTML and CSS single page thing.
So I have two questions about this one, because I am such a huge fan of this page. And so question one is, in WordPress, how do you actually implement a page like this? Because I have no idea. And then question two is like, what was the process? Was it just a day of going through and generating this whole list, or like how did you put it together?
So the first question, that's the quicker one. I'm pretty sure it's just in the like root directory that WordPress is installed in. You just like make another folder with the name of the page, and it exists.
So you just made this as like a HTML page and put it in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like dropped into the folder for
Gotcha.
the FTP client thing.
So if you want to add something new, it's just going into that HTML file and adding another thing. It's not like pulling from
I think this is I think this is all just one HTML file and one CSS file with a couple like image icons.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, it ended. I think I made the list first. I forget. That might have taken like a few days to put together. I remember starting out with like a really long list of stuff and trying to like narrow it down over time. Got it down from like, you know, some 1 or 200 to like, I don't know, 60 or however many ended up being in there. And then I grouped them. I grouped them by category. Yeah, I sort of assigned them like, I split it up into these like different media types. So there's books, websites, ideas, and like audio, video, media. And then I sort of had these loose categories at the top, just by topic. And the one interesting thing about this one was I also used it as like, this was like my first attempt to learn how Git works. So so I made the whole thing as GitHub repo.
Nice.
And tried to figure that out and like make actual commits as I was going with it. So here's images, items, web page.
Sweet.
And I made like 3 different like style sheets for it just for fun.
Oh, different themes.
Just different themes, yeah.
Nice.
And then I was doing it. Just I ended up spending like one whole day, and Jinjin was helping me out with this, with kind of figuring out the layout. She ended up making those cool icons, and I think she made some pull requests on Git or something, or some commits too. So we were kind of both playing around with that.
Nice.
And now I've probably forgotten like 80% of it because I never actually use Git really, like day to day, because like for editing a WordPress site, like it's not really part of it.
Yeah.
So I'd have to kind of remember how that actually works. But it was a fun exercise, and as like a self-contained single-page project.
Yeah. Have you seen? I remember when you first did it, you were like you published the HTML file as like a template, or like that other people could use. Has anyone taken up on that or done variations?
Has anyone? That's a good question. A couple people have reached out about it. I don't know that I don't think anyone's used like these exact templates.
Because I've now seen other people do similar things, like canons, and point to yours. But
and I definitely referenced a few other people when I was making this. And there was one guy actually who like prototyped like a Canon generator web app.
Oh.
Like I forget, it was in like some sort of Google Firebase maybe thing or something, with like a sort of template thing that he was prototyping, and I don't think ever got around to finishing.
Interesting.
It was cool that he reached out to me, and I was like, some feedback on that and stuff.
Nice.
It's like a way for people to potentially generate their own.
Yeah. One of the when we were talking about the anti-library site previously, you mentioned that those were like the books in there were a post, like there was a post template in WordPress that was you were using for like each book, right? Am I recalling that correctly?
Oh yeah.
And so that was why I was wondering if you were doing the same thing here, where like if each entry was like a post or something like that. Or,
right. That would be one way to do it.
But I guess this is also like inherently kind of a slow-moving thing, right? And
I haven't really gone back and edited this.
And like by virtue of it being, the canon, it's going to be hard to add to.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me see if there's anything else now. Yeah, these are all... Yeah, just a couple other random single pages, but that's pretty much the site. It's mostly the blog.
And so does WordPress make it pretty straightforward to drop in these like extra HTML pages? You meant like, or was it kind of a pain to do the FTP thing?
Oh, to add in like one-offs like this one?
Yeah.
Canon page? So that was just outside of WordPress entirely.
Okay.
Because I wanted it to be its own sort of something.
But like, are you like when you say WordPress, are you self-hosting WordPress somewhere, or are you like using WordPress.com, or what's?
So I can show you. I'm self-hosted with this thing called Cloudways,
Okay.
which is it's kind of, this is cool because it's like an intermediary layer on top of DigitalOcean, where it's like so I don't have to like 100% manage the servers on DigitalOcean. So like they kind of optimize it for PHP, and it costs a little bit more, but it's still pretty affordable. It's like maybe $10 or $20 a month. I'm posting like 8 or 10 websites on it.
Nice.
So yeah, so it's kind of just like a convenience layer on top of their server.
Cool. Have you been using that since you started with like hosting websites, or were you like doing different things before arriving at this one?
No, this isn't the first. There was a couple different ones. I think it was some shitty, just like WordPress host, like Bluehost or
yeah.
It's all, I don't know. One of those cheap ones with like the kind of crappy PHP dashboard.
Yeah, the
like
admin data. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So I used that for a while, and then I forget, there might have been one other one before.
Cool.
Yeah. This, I guess, what is it? Yeah, a couple of years ago. It started February 2018. Is that accurate? But yeah, that's the 5 ways for making it easy to add sites.
Sweet.
Stuff.
This may be.
And then this other.
Go ahead.
This one other tool that I have set up called Manage WP. Kind of lets you add it lets you add multiple WordPress sites, and then I think you install their plugin, and then it'll automatically try to update your plugins.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask about, the upgrade process for WordPress, because I have this like thing in my head that it is not straightforward to update, but I have no idea where that came from, or like why. Why?
Oh
why
yeah,
that.
it doesn't. I feel like this thing maybe doesn't always work, and I'm not sure why. But the upgrade, there's a lot of crap because I have a lot of plugins installed, so there's all these like stupid banners that they show and stuff. But it's pretty straightforward. You just go to plugins and like click update, and most of the time it doesn't break stuff. So
okay,
just do it. Like if you're running like a huge mission critical site, you would want to like have a staging site and everything. So just go in and click update.
Cool.
So, yeah. So what else? Oh, this is like another Schlagtown.com.
Nice.
Another just like raw HTML sort of starter site thing I was playing around with. It's like a couple little pages that I haven't opened. But I like the logo.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Creation.
That is really cool.
So that's, I don't know if I'll ever do anything with this site, but it's just like an extra place to put down stuff.
Yeah.
And then, so the new version of Diacritical Mass I just made recently as an e-commerce site to sell Unicode themed t-shirts.
That is great.
So that was just a fun thing I had kicking around that I wanted to do for a while.
So is this like is it like an actual store? Like, can you buy these, or?
It is an actual store. Yeah, you can buy them. I've only sold like 2 of them to my friends.
Nice.
I haven't done any marketing efforts or anything. It's one of those projects where like I had this sort of itch I wanted to scratch, and then I just did it in like a weekend, and then kind of forgot about it. That's all it is to it. And like I don't know if I want to do anything else with it now, but it was fun.
I'm such a fan of websites.
But it's just like it's like this. So this is WordPress also with WooCommerce, and connected to Stripe, and then also to Printful, which like automates the t-shirt fulfillment. So once I set it up, it like It's on autopilot.
It just goes.
That's sure, yeah. It just goes.
That's cool.
So yeah, I might return to it someday.
This is a bit of a tangent, but so
Yeah.
for Printful, could you like, do they have an API? So could you do like, I don't know, you know, do some weird algorithm to generate t-shirt patterns and then sell those? Or do you have to like register each t-shirt you sell with them?
They do have an API, so theoretically, yeah, you could do some sort of auto-generated like that. Although I haven't really looked into it much.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that would be possible.
That
if you wanted to.
that was just my, like, what if you wanted to fully automate it,
Yeah.
right? So you're like, it's
Right, yeah.
it's like buy this
The thing with this was,
t-shirt.com.
right, yeah. With the Unicode thing, I sort of thought about that because like that could be a cool opportunity to like just buy any single arbitrary Unicode symbol you want.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, for these, I ended up like wanting to choose like a particular font for each one that was the best in, and like put some other, like, put the name of it in a nice typography. So I figured that the auto generated thing was good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it would be cool to figure it out.
Yeah. These all look pretty slick. Nice.
Nice.
So it sounds like you've got a pretty like flexible WordPress foo going on, where like if you think of something, you can probably get it out in WordPress.
Probably, yeah. And there's so many cool themes out there now, and like have you heard of the Gutenberg editor thing at all?
No.
So basically, they probably announced it like 2 years ago or so, and like kind of launched in beta maybe one year-ish ago. Essentially, WordPress kind of a few years back decided that they wanted to modernize the editor and adopt a bunch of kind of faster, modern, more interactive like JavaScript, because the whole thing historically has been just like a shitload of PHP and like kind of annoying to edit stuff, and like the editor for actually typing in your blog posts and stuff has been kind of like a very old school WYSIWYG sort of thing. But they embarked on this whole project to modernize it and create like a more medium-like, slick and modular editor with content blocks and like auto embeds and nice stuff like that. So that launched fairly recently, and I think a lot of themes are kind of adopting that and having to like modernize. And there's like there are like legacy themes that have their own kind of like convoluted page builder plugins that they've used historically, and I've never really used those too much because when I started building the WordPress site at work, we ended up taking a bunch of like custom templates and stuff and kind of doing it ourselves rather than using the page builder. So I've done that a little bit too for things like anti-libraries. But I can show you what that looks like just because it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like when I'll just try to edit an existing post, for example. So yeah, there's this, you can see like the title block, paragraph blocks.
Slick.
It's nice. Yeah, you can like duplicate, insert new blocks. You can like convert it to HTML. I hit plus, and then there's like, you can go and see all the different block types. I can add like a raw code block. I can even add columns. So they're kind of, it's like it's not just an editor, but they're adding some like actual page layout features.
Interesting, yeah.
You can add like videos, and it'll auto embed your video and stuff like that.
So when you're writing a post, would you write the whole thing in here most of the time?
No, I'd probably copy and paste it in here.
Okay, and then just write it in like whatever editor. You cut out there for a sec, so if you said I missed.
Oh yeah, just like whatever plain text editor.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, IA Writer or Standard Notes or whatever. I have a couple of examples.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is I like it. It's had mixed mixed reviews, I think, as they've released it, because it's been in beta for a long time, and it was pretty shaky when they first started with it, but it looks pretty good now.
Yeah. So, are there any things you've wanted to implement on your site that, like, either WordPress or other technological limitations have, like, proven difficult towards doing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one thing I would like to do at some point would be like more of a personal wiki or something like that,
Yeah.
which I feel like might require its own software, like a dedicated wiki software or something.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
WordPress. Yeah.
I saw, like, I've seen people do the wiki thing in a bunch of different ways, and so, yeah, there's definitely a whole bunch of ways it can be implemented. From like running your own media wiki instance to like, I think just doing links.
I like the look of Tiddly Wiki.
I'm yet to grok it. Like, I look at this page and I'm just very confused. Like,
yeah, it is a little confusing, but it also seems nicer than media wiki.
That is definitely true. And I think you can do Markdown instead of like a.
They seem to have
That's the thing that throws me off the most about MediaWiki is like the weird syntax for embeds and.
Oh yeah. So I haven't.
And it's like all client side as well, right, or something. It's like you can just like drop in a JavaScript thing and it works or something.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
I thought that was the model, but yeah.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah. What features would you be looking for in a like personal wiki setup? Would it just be like interlinking between pages, or like how, if that's something you've thought about?
Yeah, probably just like interlinking and tags and hierarchy somehow.
Yeah.
I guess I have like in my whatever like notes app that I use. It has this feature where there's like a tag hierarchy, which is cool. And
interesting.
So if I had like a more powerful version of that, I think I might use that in the wiki. I would just be like my whole notes repository almost. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just play around with that more.
I've been trying to flesh out mine where I've just got like a notes folder on my site, which is just like a hierarchical thing of Markdown files and then links between them with the down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
And so it's like kind of works, but it's also like there's no other way to browse them. It's got like this shitty little fuzzy search thing up there where
cool.
You can like kind of search through titles, but like
that's cool. It's like a live search.
Yeah. It works basically only because it's really small. And like as soon as this thing expands, it's probably gonna get really weird. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Those are all pulled from Pocket, which I've got to shift to pulling from Pinboard now.
Oh, these ones are
yeah. And then I was like, well, if I'm pulling from Pinboard, I might as well just like make my Pinboard public and link to it. So it's like kind of pointless.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I tried on Self-Starter's Guide. I think tried a Pinboard embed at one point. So I think this is a Pinboard embed style too. So that's another, just kind of random thing I was playing around with. Because as I mentioned, Self-Starter's Guide, I haven't updated in forever, and it's a bunch of just kind of random experiments all pushed together.
That's a good
so this is where I think so, yeah. But like this is where I first had the page about idea exchange, which is like the kind of prototype of format for the small group learning oriented dinners that I host in my apartment sometimes. So I had the page up there for that. And I had some random blog posts and other things, like this uncommon core, trying to like think through like modern literacies for like a new curriculum or something.
Nice.
And I made like you can get it as a Gumroad product. It's just like a PDF.
Sweet.
PDF. Yeah. So yeah, random little things like that. Little Gumroad product here, little pinboard embed there.
I think that's one of the like stitching together all the separate services is so like just I don't know. I get like a little thrill about it every time. Like even the Pocket thing, like just the fact that I had the Pocket API in made it like 10 times more likely for me to actually use Pocket and now Pinboard. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, another one I played around with was embedding like arena blocks, blog posts.
That's cool.
So here, I just did that for this blog post I wanted to put out about creative GitHub repos. So,
did you see?
I don't know why.
Speaking of creative GitHub repos, I saw the other day someone did the U.S. Constitution, where every amendment was.
I saw that. I didn't really dig in and check out all the.
It was pretty cool. Fun fact: you can't backdate GitHub commits to before like 1970 something. So,
oh really?
Yeah, because he tried to put it to like 17 whatever, and it didn't work.
It's like since the Unix.
Probably, Unix epoch.
Original, yeah. That's fine.
So does Arena have like a little embed, like copy this to embed this channel?
I think. Well, for this one, I actually made like a WordPress plugin that pulls it using their API. I think they have a PHP like little SDK sort of thing.
Huh.
I think just like a little library that I grabbed.
Neat.
They might. I think maybe since I've made this, they may have like a better embed functionality now. I haven't tried that lately, but this was fun to just like try making a small WordPress plugin.
Yeah. What was the process?
So
are they written in PHP exclusively, or?
Plugins, typically, yeah. Like
okay.
I mean, you can sprinkle in whatever like JavaScript stuff you want to, but fundamentally, the core of it's just like a PHP file or combo PHP files, typically.
Cool. And so that plugin would be handling like, how does the plugin lead to this, or how do you get from writing a plugin to like this output, roughly?
Let me see. What is the? I think I just made it. WordPress has this concept of shortcodes.
Okay.
So. I think, what did I do? Yeah, you can see, so basically you can specify like parameters in that you want to pass via shortcode.
Okay.
And so I have like the name of the channel and a couple other parameters like the maximum number
and then
if I should show the arena links or not.
And then your plugin is just like a shortcode handler.
Yeah, basically. It like it parses these parameters and then it calls the Arena API and grabs the channel info and then parses it or renders it according to some like simple block template type things.
And so it just spits out some HTML that gets put into the post, or is it spitting out like a WordPress template-y thing? Or?
I think, it's just HTML basically.
Cool.
Yeah, I think in the plugin it's just the PHP template that generates this HTML.
Cool.
So that's just, another fun one.
Yeah.
And then I guess, one thing I could talk about is sort of parallel to all this personal site stuff, doing WordPress development at work for, we have this whole guitar membership site, and this is like a thing where we've done a ton of WordPress customization as well.
Yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of different stuff there.
We made a lot of different templates, and I don't know, probably like several thousand lines of CSS too.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's kind of messy, but it works.
Yeah.
So then, yeah.
Yeah. One of my big takeaways from all this is that I was like all my assumptions about WordPress are like 6 or 7 years out of date, I guess. Like,
oh, interesting.
Just in terms of like what you can do with it and how powerful / straightforward it is to do some things with it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot that's probably not straightforward.
You just have to like build up the know-how for it.
Yeah. I think so, and like figure out, kind of cobble together different plugins.
Yeah.
So, yeah, on this site, I mean, we probably use like 24 plugins at least for different things. And then this is like, we have a whole index page template to display these nice rows. So this is something I thought about doing. Maybe like for Self-Starter's Guide, one thing I would like to do is publish more kind of long-form content guides about things that I've learned, and possibly organize it in a structure, something like this, where it's kind of this like nice browsable hierarchy.
Yeah.
So this is like kind of our multimedia page format, and then we also have like these kind of topic index pages where you can see like the chapterized list of videos, and go down and see like the actual video player page. So I think it'd be fun to have Self-Starter's Guide have actual guides.
Which was kind of
the original intent like several years ago. It's like, oh yeah, I'm like take these online courses about such and such.
What's your
so getting back to that in some way?
Like generally speaking, with writing on the internet, what's your like workflow like? Do you have a ton of drafts that are like sitting and you edit constantly, or is it like you'll sit down to write a thing and then that gets written, finished?
It's a little of both. I do have a whole bunch of drafts in Scrivener. I have like a whole big Scrivener doc that's just like several folders of old drafts that I haven't published yet. So sometimes I'll go in and kind of look through that and see what stands out. It's like a thing to revisit.
Yeah.
But I also mostly now just have like a bunch of text notes and standard notes, or I feel like standard notes is what I use for like a notes library where I like have hundreds of notes that I want to organize different ways. And then IA Writer is just a very nice, like simple, minimalist markdown editor that I like a lot.
Yeah, I use them on my phone. They're pretty sweet.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like lately some of the most recent blog posts I've done in like this blockchain I did with Tom, I like just drafted those in IA Writer.
Sweet. And I know you mentioned previously like the idea of working in public and thinking in public and all that. Does that extend to like like drafts of posts, or is it like would you feel comfortable putting unfinished things up, or is that kind of
I guess I wish I did more of that, because I think I don't I haven't really done that a whole lot. There was this I don't think it actually exists anymore, but there was this tool that I really liked called something like Pro or something, and it was someone made it as like a side project thing where it's like a simple web app where you could input all of your draft ideas and then people could vote on them. Which ones they're most interested in like actually reading about. So I remember actually putting some ideas up there a while back, like sending an email to my friends being like, tell me which of these blog posts I should write next. Getting a few votes on that and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure that site's defunct now. That was a cool example.
Yeah.
Just like, or just publish drafts. changed ideas.
I don't know. I went through like
Some people are, yeah.
like several different iterations of like how to designate whether something was a draft, where like I had a special link that like I wouldn't publish anywhere, so it was still there, but it was just like hidden behind a thing.
Yeah.
And then now what I've settled on is just like everything in the notes folder counts as a draft unless I explicitly say it's an essay. Yeah.
Right. So that you have essays and then everything else is not essays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the media thing is a little experimental, but
oh, cool. Okay. Nice. Yeah. So I think that could be an interesting thing to just publish, not explicitly essays or blog posts.
Yeah. The mental shift of having it in like a separate section is pretty helpful. It's like it doesn't matter if like 90% of the things on this /notes is trash because it's just notes.
Right. Yeah. I'll have to think about that some more. I don't know if that would be how I would use a wiki, or if there's something else I would use a wiki for, and that just like graphs and that thing.
Yeah. Do you find yourself shifting around like the taxonomy of your site a lot, or is it relatively stable?
For mostly I haven't really done that much because most of my sites are very simple, like the taxonomies. I guess like anti-libraries is one where there's like additional taxonomies or page types that I want to add that I haven't yet. So this one right now just has, it's like the homepage and then the book template. So it's like anti-libraries /books/title.
Gotcha.
But one thing I would like to do is have other media types, so I can have like what videos are in my anti-library. Anti-libraries /videos /title, and then it would be like a YouTube embed or something like that. Like favorite websites maybe, so it would be kind of more like the personal canon where it can encompass
that would be sweet.
Lots of different media forms, but in the anti-library, so they would all be like things that I have found that look interesting that happen.
Yeah.
And then I want to make like a collections sort of thing too, so like a way to have lists, like ordered lists that I could make, sort of like here's 10 books about this theme, have that displayed.
That'd be super cool. Yeah, I could almost see like eventually, if you get both your library and anti-library in there, you could like make your canon page just a list on top of that database as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sweet.
I have a lot of data in just like in Goodreads that would also be cool to kind of get that all over here eventually.
Does Goodreads have a solid API?
They have an API. I haven't actually used it much, so I don't know how easy it is to work with. Yeah, that would be a thing I'll have to look into some more. But it would be nice to just have like my own personal reading history and stuff.
Yeah.
Site. It's so cool.
I found that's another kind of like mental shift that happened as when I started using my website more, which was like in evaluating any new service I use, I care way more about whether their API is nice, just like in the potential future case that I ever might want to integrate with it or build something with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there particular ones that you've been working with lately that have very nice APIs?
Well, I specifically didn't like the Pocket API, which was like a decent amount of the reason I shifted to Pinboard, which is Pinboards is like, it's still kind of weird, but it's pretty straightforward. It's like nice and simple, so I like that. What else is like, the Airtable API is sick. Or like the fact that they generate the API for you for your particular base is very nice. It makes it really, like you can kind of use it as like a super minimal database for a site that is pretty small. So that's been really straightforward.
I remember like at one point for like 2 seconds I was looking into Airtable as like a way to do like maybe anti-libraries with database, and like someone actually made a WordPress plugin that is an interface that lets you use Airtable as the back end. But that was just like too many things smashed together.
Airtable
and then eventually I like just actually learned my SQL and like how the
real
database works. So like so if I need to, I can just Google this probably.
I think that's like Airtable is like it's very much in this little space where it's like it's only like it's useful for when you need a database, so you're already like a step above just like a static site that you're writing to, but you don't need or you don't want to like run a full database anywhere. But nowadays it's getting like even way easier to just like put a Postgres instance somewhere. So I don't know. And then of course there's like the people who don't know how to write SQL or don't want to interact with the database can just like edit the table in Airtable. But
yeah. And even WordPress is like pretty. I mean, even if you don't want to like manage your own database, you can sort of get by with like custom post types.
Yeah.
And like WordPress is weird because it munges everything into like just a couple tables really. There's like the posts table. So like even on anti-libraries, if I have post types for books or for videos, they would all be in the same database table as posts with post type book. So it's a little messy in how it just kind of
puts everything
as a post. But it still works. There's like a post meta where you can add any additional custom metadata with just like the value pairs in a separate related table. So I mean it works.
It sounds like it'll handle everything. It might just be a little crowded.
Yeah. I mean, if you're scaling out to like billions of rows, then I'm sure.
And then you probably should reconsider WordPress for your database that you've somehow built Twitter on top of, or
exactly, But for anything with like a few thousand things, it's for the most part.
Would there be anything that would get you off of WordPress, or are you pretty firmly on there? Like, what would a feature be that would be like good enough to get you to shift tech stacks?
I don't know. I'm excited by to see Ghost just like.
With their subscription model, right?
And so they have like a much nicer sort of native integration with. I think they connect directly with Stripe. Built-in membership subscription thing. It looks pretty slick. So I don't know if I would switch just for that, but like that seems like a nice thing.
Yeah, I wonder if
like easier in WordPress.
I wonder if Ghost views like getting people off of WordPress as like a strategy for them, or it's like totally different.
I bet
target market.
They do. I bet that's a big thing.
Yeah, they're all like WordPress.
Slicker. Well, I think the founder of Ghost was like a former WordPress. He like contributed a bunch to WordPress open source.
Oh.
5 years ago, it was like I'm
just doing it myself.
Something new, something better and new. So so it's been a kind of cool trajectory.
Yeah, they're a super cool company. I'm a big fan of their whole philosophy and everything.
But I mean, for me, just because I'm so used to WordPress, I think even if Ghost is like technically nicer and more modern in various ways, it's still like easier for me to hack on WordPress just because I'm more familiar with it. Like, and I've used PHP a lot more than I've used like fancy modern JavaScript frameworks. So
that makes sense. I think so much of it is like the time to like how quickly can you go from thinking about something to like getting the most hacky version of it there is the important metric to like optimize here, and sticking with the stack is like the best way to optimize that.
Right. And there are other projects that I think I might just like try to play with the static site generator to get some simpler. Just see how that works.
I think that's like another advantage of the like proliferate sites versus like one monolithic site, was you can do different stacks everywhere, try out different stuff.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, for a lot of the WordPress sites, I've ended up using like this one theme that I started using like 10 years ago. Just got used to
Stuck with it.
Yeah, so like one thing I might do is get rid of that and just try to write like a bunch from scratch or something.
Do you find
or just
speaking of themes, like
yeah,
like the visual design across most of your sites I think is pretty good, and like they're all very clean looking and work really nicely. Is that like a thing you spend a lot of time tweaking, or is it the theme is like good to go? Or
yeah, I think it's a lot of tweaking, and then also the theme helps kind of with some of the basic things like so for anti-libraries here, like the whole header thing is like theme options. There's like a few different theme options that have like this built-in search thing. So like that's nice to not have to write this fancy search feature from scratch, because it's like kind of boring, but it's nice to have, I guess.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, actually, I think like the anti-library site, and then my personal homepage, and this cracking the code site at work, like these are all like using the same basic WordPress theme. We just customize.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Like
so significant customization
to varying degrees. Yeah, I mean the theme. Yeah, it does a lot. It has a lot of features that I think a lot of popular WordPress themes also like they try to be kind of the most popular ones anyway try to be like an all-in-one thing and have like every feature available for everyone.
So when you say theme and feature here, so like my mental model of a theme is like it's styling for like layout plus styling. But do WordPress themes like do more than that, or is like that's the domain here?
Sometimes they do, yeah, and I think it's gotten a little mixed together. And I saw some announcement from the theme. There's like this theme marketplace we got it from, and apparently they have new guidelines now where they try to actually enforce that distinction. Because like the way it's supposed to be with WordPress is, the theme is basically just like the styling and layouts and templates, and then any sort of actual feature functionality should live in plugins.
Yeah.
So I think what happened is the theme added so much that eventually they ended up with a bunch of features that really should have been plugins, and then they eventually split them out. So there was like this add-on for portfolio pages that had like portfolio functionality. There was another add-on that they had for like fancy homepage image sliders, and they recently kind of factored all that code out into separate like small plugins that kind of live alongside the theme. So I think ideally the theme is mostly just for styling.
Gotcha.
But even there's some things that are kind of in between styling and functionality, like or like header search module. What is that?
Yeah.
Or like what else? I don't know. There are just like a lot of options too, like all the like a built-in like Google Fonts browser to like choose what fonts you want and stuff like that. So for a lot of this, I could probably, it's simple enough that it might actually be easier to just kind of make it from scratch. But I just happened to start out with this other one.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, I feel like there are a lot of themes now that are cool that might be more aligned with the
separation of concerns.
And also like design for the Gutenberg editor. So like the themes might have nice like extra blocks so that you have the whole visual thing here. And so that's something I might play around with.
I spent a whole chunk of time today looking at a whole bunch of different like JavaScript editor frameworks. So I wonder what WordPress ended up going with.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a whole big thing when they switched to like doing a bunch of JavaScript type stuff. People were used to it. And I think there was also is React the Facebook development?
Yeah, React Facebook one.
Yeah, I think they started out in that one, and then there was some big like licensing kerfuffle, and then they were like going to switch to another one, and then we React like backtracked and like one licenses. There was some weird thing like that.
The blog post I think still says that, or whatever I'm reading says that it still was done with React.
Yeah, right. I think, but they like threatened to switch to a different one.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Website that I donate to anyway, because I haven't done anything with it. But I imagine this as like a domain I could use as just a place to throw random notes.
What is the domain here? The like screen is a little blurry, so I can't see.
Zibaldones. So what's the actual word? Italian vernacular commonplace book.
Oh.
That's
Nice.
So I just grabbed the domain .es version of it.
That's cool.
And then I bought 3 other domains recently. So other future projects would be nctbd.xyz, which is nctbd being my rap name. So
MCTBD, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be my artist site for my rap pursuits.
Sweet.
And then what else? I got bars.academy.
That is a great one.
So bars is like the Bars Academy of Rhyme Science.
Nice.
So that would be to put any explorations of hip-hop pedagogy. And let's see what I got. Oh yeah, I finally bought the domain for Yocto.
What did you get?
Yocto.rocks.
Nice.
I want it to be 5 letters just for symmetry purposes.
Solid. I always like.
That's when I want to do a static site of some sort, probably. Keep it like a simple.
Yeah. I wonder how much because I wonder a lot about what are the biggest barriers to more people just putting up websites, and I wonder how much getting a domain name is towards them. Where it's one of those things that if you know how to do it and how it works, it's you can just be snapping up domain names left and right. But getting over that initial hump is always a little weird.
Yeah. It's surprisingly annoying because it's not you can buy the domain, but then as far as setting up DNS is always more steps than you think it would be. Annoying and
totally.
Random propagation times that you don't know how long it's going to take. Sometimes I don't know.
So I've definitely messed up with so much.
I feel that's why it's probably appealing to just use Squarespace or seen Universe, the tool.
Website, they're mobile. Yeah.
That's super. Yeah. So that's a super cool, powerful tool. I think it's a few dollars a month and it comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, it's maybe there'll be improvements.
Yeah, I know all Netlify and Zeit, they all run their own. I don't know if there's a domain name registrar backend API that they're all using, but they make it super easy to register a domain name right through that, because they just want people to get domain.
Right. You just type on the command line buy domain, please, and it's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've never used that, but that's
yeah. I use most of my sites are hosted on Zeit, so it's pretty slick.
You said you mostly use Zeit?
Yeah, I use Netlify for a bit. I think I have 1 or 2 still on there, but Zeit mainly. Yeah.
Cool. How do those compare?
Zeit is more like hackery, and Netlify is like trying to be more approachable. I like Zeit because its functions, like it has a cleaner like functions model in my mind. Where I don't know how they're doing it on the back end, but they've got like you can run like you kind of just put your functions in a folder and they can be whatever language, and from like JavaScript, TypeScript, Go, I think it can handle Rust, and it'll just kind of like figure it out. Whereas for Netlify, it's also got like a functions thing, like AWS Lambda functions, but you have to set up your own like tool chain to compile it, I think. It's also been a while, so I think that could have improved.
I've poked around and like created an account.
They both have like this very nice, like you can get started with them, like just serve a folder really easily. With Netlify has this like pretty like drag and drop interface where you can just like drop a folder in and it'll give you a URL for it. And Zeit's got this like really like single command interface where you just do like now is the CLI, so you just do like now in a folder and it'll serve it up for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it'll do it even with just like a plain text folder, or
like literally any folder you do, it'll like just bundle it up and put it onto a URL. If it's HTML.
You don't have to like install. You don't have to install like JavaScript.
No. Yeah, but if you do have a JavaScript framework, it'll also just like figure that out and put it up for you. So
right. Okay, cool.
I
have to play around with that now.
It's a little like, well, I mean, it's like it's trying to be pretty smart, but it also has like a pretty clean model. So it's like not too much magic, but just a little bit of magic. So it's like kind of a little hard to, if you dig too deep, to figure out what's going on. But yeah. Cool. Anything we missed with your websites you want to get into?
No, I don't think so. Well, I'll close all the tabs to make sure. So Cloudways is cool. I like it for Z site and PHP apps. This is whatever. I don't know what the next version of this will be. I would like to. One thing I want to do is add some sort of feature to like show blog chains, like multi-person collaborative blogging.
Yeah,
might look like. Maybe that's something we can like explore more.
That would be fun to riff on. Yeah,
and some back and forth or something. That's something that with the I only have the one blog chain with Tom, and I started one with Jin, but she hasn't. She like lost her blog. She wasn't. She had one at one point, and I don't know. So I have to make her start
a blog somewhere.
In some way. She just has like a single page thing. I just think it'd be fun to do that with more people.
Totally.
It's like nice momentum to like kind of publish stuff without worrying too much about having to polish.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see how to get that to like work across sites. Like, would it be one thing that could be neat is like a little embed that like.
Yeah, so that's I know. Yeah, Tom had made like a little tiny widget. I think with that intent, with like just a little prototype of like a thing, in like a glitch app that you could just embed in any site. So like embed all the parts of the blockchain.
Yeah.
But I could make it through some sort of WordPress thing by making like a collection WordPress post that had the various component posts, or maybe there's a better way to do that.
Yeah, it's a really interesting problem to think about, because it's like, how do you make it so that it can go across different stacks and different sites? But and I was looking into like the indie web thing with web mentions, like that. But I don't know, that seems a little janky still. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best way to display a blockchain. Yeah, I'll think on that. I'm definitely down to
Cool.
do some experiments with it.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Arena embeds, nice.
I should just do refreshes designs. I don't like this font. Yeah, this is a big one where I feel like it's too old bad.
I mean, it works. It's yeah.
it has stuff on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. I feel like I have like a lot of notes that I want to organize and share. Like not exactly like a full online course necessarily, because it would probably just be all text.
Yeah.
Pages. But yeah, some kind of just nice long form.
Yeah, this might be a good place to experiment with more like, development in progress stuff as opposed to your main site. If you have a lot of notes on it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see if I post it.
Oh, that's sweet. So the forum just like integrates right in.
So yeah, I forget like what displays this. If it's a built-in widget from. But basically, yeah. So WordPress has a plugin developed by Discourse to connect to. So that's what I use here when you go to forum. It uses WordPress SSO. So it's actually it makes it pretty easy to set that up so that the user accounts. There's just one user account for the WordPress site, and
that's sweet.
It's cool.
Cool.
So if I wanted to build any other features like
you'd have the accounts already.
Different users could use or something.
That's interesting.
Well,
it's nice that it's
awesome.
there.
Yeah. That's the thing we use like for cracking the code, is we have it so that people who sign up for the paid subscription, they have an account for the store, and then also used for the forum. So,
yeah.
Cool.
All right. That looks like it.
I think that's everything. Yeah.
Sweet. Let me stop this recording.